Not yet. Waalaikumsalam. Shall we wait for about 5 minutes ya? Masih 4 soalnya yang datang. Hi, I'm good. How are you? Okay, while waiting others, anyone who want to share your experience today? Like this morning, this afternoon, what did you do? Can you hear me? Okay. Do you want to start now? Okay. Well, I already received your homework, some of you, and I already gave mark, kasih nilai. And This is the homework that you already done. Some of you can correctly answer all the questions. I mean, you can change the sentence from the simple present tense into simple past tense. But some of you still have difficulty in changing the sentence from simple present tense to the simple past tense. So I will show you some of errors, some of misunderstanding about the changing of simple present tense to simple past tense. Okay, tell me first. Can you tell me what is the formula to show the simple past tense sentence? The positive one, simple past tense. No, I mean the formula. So you have the simple past tense. Hi, good evening, Mbak Gusnul Fatima. So if you have the positive sentence, it should be subject plus verb to. You don't need to add to be. Kalau di simple present, to be-nya kan simple present ya. Simple present. To be-nya kan is, am, are. Yeah, this is simple present. But you in the past tense, simple past tense, to be-nya apa? Anyone know? What is the to be for simple past tense? Ya, salam. To be for simple past tense actually was and were. To be-nya itu was sama were. Ya, kalau did itu seperti apa ya? I forget the name of the term. Kalau Anda buat kalimat negatif di simple present tense itu kan Anda menggunakan do sama does ya untuk kalimat negatif yang kemudian ditambahkan dengan kata kerja. Nah, is MR kan tidak bisa digabungkan dengan kata kerja karena ini adalah to be. Sama, simple past tense juga begitu. To be-nya adalah was sama were. Ini to be-nya. Ya, nanti pokoknya untuk past tense itu to be-nya past ya. Past itu bisa ada past tense, past continuous, tapi kamu belum belajar sekarang yang past continuous. Sekarang ke past tense dulu. Nah, kalau simple present tense, to be-nya adalah is and are kan. I am a doctor. She is the teacher. They are a dancer, misalnya. Nah, kalau di simple past tense itu kan Anda menyatakan sesuatu yang sudah lampau. Sebentar, belum. Kalau Anda menyatakan sesuatu yang sedang lampau, itu Anda pakai simple past tense. Misalnya, dia dulunya itu penyanyi. Bagaimana? She was a singer dulu. Was. Gitu. They were athletes. Mereka dulunya atlet. Kita belum bicara masalah continuous ya, jangan dulu, jangan dicampur adukkan. Tapi nanti ketika Anda belajar continuous, kita juga pakai to be, pas continuous tense, to be-nya adalah was dan were. Also as the simple present continuous tense, itu to be-nya juga is, am, are. Nah, bagaimana dengan did sama do? Ya, nah, did sama do itu, I think some of you already correctly answered the homework, like this sentence. Number 1, Mr. Rahmadi teach German. Ya kan? Ini kan simple present. Anda merubah ke simple past tense. Berarti subjeknya mana? Subjeknya kan ini, Mr. Rahmadi kan? Ya. Terus teach. Kata kerjanya kan, ini kata kerja bentuk pertama. Nah, dirubah menjadi kata kerja bentuk kedua. Apa? Apa teach? Verb keduanya apa? Ya. She taught ini ya. She taught German. Kalau dia, Mr. Rahmadi tidak mengajar bahasa Jerman, apa? Yes. Yes. Jadi subjek Mr. Rahmadi plus did plus not plus verbnya kembalikan ke bentuk pertama. Ya, Mr. Rahmadi did not teach German. Tidak pakai S. Tidak pakai S atau ES. Oke? Any question? Pengaruh. Ya. S sama ES itu untuk simple present tense saja. Oke? If not, I'll show you some of your errors. Ini dari PR kalian ini saya ambil. Ya, Mbak Santi, kalau di past tense tidak usah ditambahi S atau ES. Kayak tadi Mr. Rahmadi did not teach, bukan teach, ya. No problem, Mbak Eka, Mbak Kotia. Okay, try to check this error. For number 1, Which one do you think made error? Cuts, ya. Masalahnya ini, kalau misalnya ini nanti takutnya dipikir dia simple present tense karena bentuk verb 1, verb 2, verb 3-nya cut tuh sama cut gitu loh. Ya. Jadi it should be Uni cut the grass in the yard. Seperti itu. Yes. Okay. How about number 2? Yep. As we. Nah, itu siapa? Mbak Eka. Bukan teach, ya, tapi dia taught. Jadi ya ini bahasa aja. Ini ya, di verbnya dia harusnya pakai verb. Ya, and then for negative one, ya, ini bukan tidak memakai to be karena ini adalah verb kata kerja. Jadi Mr. Rahnadi did not, didn't teach, tetap ya verbnya ya. Berarti didn't teach. Okay. For number 3, for the positive sentence, which one do you think make error? Yeah, where. It should be were. Yeah, good. Sudah bisa ya. Nah, for negative one, ini dia pakai were, tapi di sini pakai sudah benar ini untuk kalimat apa tanyanya dia pakai did. Masalahnya di kalimat negatifnya kok pakai were gitu. Ya, it should be Elisa didn't wear a beautiful dress. Yeah, didn't wear. Okay, for number 4 here. Ya, ini it should be studied ya. Ini kayaknya waktu nulis mungkin apa waktu ngetik salah ketik atau gimana. Leonie didn't study English. Kok in the yard aku bikin ini. Ya, mikir apa ini ya? No problem. Atau lagi galau? Oke. Halo, salam. Mbak Siti Amina, where are you now? I want to go to Indonesia too. I usually tell by inbox ya, kalau ada yang salah, saya kasih tahu lewat inbox. Ada yang salah semua langsung betulkan, saya langsung kayak gitu. So I will not tell to others. Hai, Mbak Win. Okay, we continue. The same ya, for the interrogative one. Here, did Leonie, the verb ini bukan student, tapi study. Yep. Okay, more errors. Here. Untuk yang positif, for the positive sentence, is that okay? Ya, untuk negatifnya ya, nggak usah pakai s. This is also. Okay? Back to the first slide. Which one do you think you still have difficulty? Which number? Mana? Number 8. Mr. Dede by here itu kan verb. Anda ganti both. A lot of toys. Toys apa sih bahasa Indonesianya? Ya. Yeah. So you don't need to change this. Mentang-mentang nggak S-nya nggak boleh dipakai, semua dihilangin. It's not like that, ya. Yep, okay, good. Good. So this is, again, as your reference, ya. Some of you also answer like this. He was taught. Jadi ada yang menjawab misalnya, saya kembalikan lagi ya. Saya mau membahas ini karena ini penting. This one. Misalnya nih, some of you ya, ada juga yang menjawab, let's see number 4. Mr. Krishna, ada yang menjawab begini. Mr. Krishna ya, was opened. Bla bla bla. Kalau Mbak Natalia, the secret ya. Ini maknanya sangat berbeda dengan Mr. Krishna open the secret. Kalau Mr. Krishna open the secret, kan Mr. Krishna itu membuka rahasia gitu kan di waktu masa lampau. Ketika Anda kasih to be, kemudian ditambah verb to, itu kalimatnya menjadi kalimat pasif. Masih ingat nggak kalimat pasif? Kayak gini. I taught English. Ini salah ya. Seperti ini keliru. Ini bukan simple past tense. Kenapa? Karena kalau seperti ini, Anda akan merubah arti. Kalimat ini, Mr. Krishna membuka rahasia. Ini adalah kalimat aktif. Mr. Krishna membuka rahasia. Seperti misalnya, saya mengajar bahasa Inggris 2 tahun yang lalu. Ya, kalau dirubah menjadi kalimat pasif kan, saya diajarin bahasa Inggris, gitu kan? Nah, kalau Anda menulisnya seperti ini itu sebenarnya kalimat pasif. Nggak ada hubungannya sama continuous. No, not yet. I'm talking about your errors. Jadi, saya bahas tentang error-error kalian. Ada yang menjawab nomor 4 ini, Mr. Krishna was opened, bla bla bla. Ini kalimat bentuk seperti ini adalah kalimat pasif. Nanti saya ajarkan nanti. Ya, jadi sekarang kita berlatihnya dengan kalimat aktif semua. Ya. Do you know the difference between active and passive sentence? Bahasa Indonesia? Do you know the difference? Ya, subjeknya ya, melakukan pekerjaan, betul. Gini, kalau continuous itu nanti berhubungan dengan verb ing. Jadi ing ada ing. Misalnya, Mr. Krishna was opening gitu. Itu namanya present, past continuous. Makanya saya tadi bilang nggak ada hubungannya dengan continuous karena kita tidak bermain dengan kata kerja ditambah dengan ing. Ya, kalau kalimat pasif subjeknya dikenai pekerjaan. Oke? Jadi kesalahan yang seperti ini tadi yang dilakukan, yang dikerjakan, ada yang mengerjakan seperti ini, itu sebenarnya dia merubah kalimat aktif menjadi kalimat pasif. It just let you know this, but we will discuss this later. Okay, any question? Any question? Okay, no. Good. Lebih apa nih untuk kalimat nominal? Where did you get this? Kalimat nominal sama kalimat verbal. Oke, nanti kalau ada waktu kita ke kalimat pasif deh ya, karena bagian dari Anda sudah mengerjakan dengan kalimat pasif, tapi kali ini PR-nya kan bukan kalimat pasif. Ya? Oke. We move to ini this is the summary about the comparison between the present and past tense. Nah, kalau in positive sentence, have the subject and then the verb is verb 1 in space. And if the subject is singular, then the verb should be add by s kalau present. Negatifnya pakai, kalau yang non singular dia pakai do, kalau negatifnya jadi don't. Kemudian kalau dia singular, negatifnya pakai does not. Gitu. Ya, the same. In negative sentence, the verb doesn't change. Jadi verbnya tidak berubah di negatif untuk kedua, untuk past tense. As also in the interrogative. Ya, jadi verbnya itu hanya the verb only change in affirmative sentence di kalimat yang positif. Gitu ya, this is the the summary. Because we already learned about present and past tense. Okay. Can you see this clearly? Okay. I give you 5 minutes to see this poster, okay, 5 to 10 minutes, and then try to understand the poster, try to answer the question on the right side. Anda pahami posternya, Anda coba jawab pertanyaan di sebelah kanan. Ketika Anda membaca poster itu, catatlah kata-kata yang Anda tidak paham. Gitu ya. Kenapa? Karena di UNAS itu kadang-kadang seperti TTM kita meeting berapa itu ya? Meeting 3 or 4, I forgot. I show you one problem from the national exam, and the problem is about announcement ya kalau nggak salah ya. But here it's about poster, and I found also in the national exam they put poster and ask you to understand the poster. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, I give you 5 minutes. Try to work on yourself first. Don't share first in 5 minutes. Yep, it's very easy. Karena jawabnya singkat-singkat kok. Enjoy. Try to solve yourself first. Write down in your own. And then after I start the discussion, and then you can share to others, and then you can check each other. Is it already 5 minutes? Okay. Okay. Minzy, I open your voice. Is that possible? Mbak Santi, maybe? Do you want to answer number 1? Okay. Hello, yes.
Hello,
Yeah, I can
ada
hear you.
suaranya?
Yeah.
Number 1. What is the poster about? A notice or instruction for recycle
The
bin?
instruction for recycle bin. Is that your answer? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Number 2. So I don't need to open again. So number 2?
Oh, number 2. What is it? Okay, for untuk tempat membuang for
Blue top
put
bin.
the all recycle
Oke.
bin.
Blue top bin itu maksudnya ini ya?
Itu kotak itu kan yang biru itu buat paper segala macam yang itu kan cuma di tempat nanya gitu.
Okay, I close your voice ya. Thank you. Okay. Mbak Eka, can I open your voice? Wait. Oh, okay. Hello. Yeah.
Can you hear?
Can you answer number 2 again?
Number 2? Oh, okay. Number 2 is sorry. What is the function of the blue top bin? And the answer is for to tell you how to recycle sorting.
Yeah. Repeat once again.
To tell you how to recycle
To tell
sorting.
you how to recycle, gitu ya.
Sorting.
To tell
Yes,
you.
that's right. To yeah,
Do
yes.
you know which one is the blue top pin?
It's itu bukannya yang di atas yang buat memberitahu kita gimana cara pemilahannya itu ya, Miss?
Pin itu, ayo yang mana? Anyone? Apakah kotaknya itu ataukah cuman penutupnya saja? Masalahnya kan itu kan blue top pin. Kalau bin itu ya tempat sampah itu kita namakan bin, gitu. Ya, jadi blue top bin itu adalah kotak sampahnya. You can recycle the following in your blue top bin ini ya. Now number 3, Mbak.
Number 3, what stuff belong to cardboard? Like a book, newspaper, and etc.
It's like cereal box, greeting card, and everything. Yeah, here. Also in the poster. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, now who wants to try number 4 and number 5? Okay, Mbak Wawat. Sure. Ya,
Halo Bu,
number 4 ya, dengar.
langsung jawabannya aja Bu.
Dibaca boleh?
Soalnya.
What should you
Number
do?
4, what should you do?
What should?
What should you do to our content before throwing them away? Them away. My answer is separate all items can be reclaimed.
Recycling.
Recycling. Separate all items can be recycled.
Okay. For all. Lihat di bagian bawah itu. Please wash all containers. Ya. What should you do to all container? Jadi yang harus Anda lakukan apa? Lihat Anda harus wash all the containers and remove lids if possible. Ya. Okay. Number 5.
Yeah. What is the purpose of the poster? My answer is return to the place.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you ya.
Masih Bu. Nah,
Okay. Okay, we move to this part. It's about reading. Jadi part ini kalau misalnya di pembelajaran bahasa Inggris sulit lebih boring ya, karena kan Anda membaca buku, membaca cerita gitu ya, atau membaca koran, newspaper. Some English newspaper ketika Anda membaca news berita itu kan ada beberapa part bagian itu yang di masa sih kecil. Halo, ya. Oke, ketika Anda baca berita, remember if you read like a newspaper, some part the writer try to introduce the topic. Biasanya di bagian depan dia itu memperkenalkan topik ini itu berita ini tuh ngomong tentang apa. Gitu ya. Ada structure. Oke, Mbak Atun. Ada generic structure. Di mana di generic ini, structure ini ada bagian-bagian, tesis, argumen, sama conclusion. Biasanya yang ada seperti itu. Nah, tesis is the function of thesis is to introduce the topics and indicate the writer position. Jadi, ketika Anda baca, siapa yang suka baca cerpen? Ya, novel. Ini novelnya bahasa Inggris nggak? Oke, even juga pakai cerpen bahasa Indonesia. Di awal, di paragraf-paragraf pertama itu kan biasanya dia menceritakan topiknya itu apa gitu kan. Dia cerita. And then in the first paragraph, usually the writer indicate their position. Apakah dia itu menceritakan dirinya sendiri? Or they share about other condition. Ya, ini biasanya di awal, di bagian awal seperti itu. Maka dia, ini yang saya ceritakan adalah pengalaman saya sendiri, or it's about others. And then another part is about arguments. So in the arguments there is state main arguments. Jadi di argumen tuh biasanya di bagian argumen itu di tengah-tengah. Setelah dia introduction tentang topiknya apa, nah dia memberikan argumen atau pendapatnya. Dia mau membahas from which point of view, dia mau membahas dari point of view sebelah sini, gitu. Ya, kemudian di conclusion penulisnya itu restate the position. This is the general, I guess, to make you more understand. Okay, try to understand the example. This is from a newspaper. Access to clean water, a problem for Indonesia. Dari koran ini, Jakarta Post. Coba Anda pahami. Ini sebentar, 1 menit. Okay, who want to read? Ada yang bisa open voice? Okay. Ini tuh. Okay. Kak. Ya?
Hello?
Yes, wow.
Can you hear me, Miss? Okay. Access to clean water, a problem for Indonesia. Access to clean water is one of Indonesia's biggest problem. According to the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs report, a 2007 published by the National Development Planning Board, deep water is accessible to 13.8% of households in the country's cities and 9% in its village. Such figures show the limitation of the municipality water service provider PDEM. Thank you, Miss.
Okay, this is the thesis ya, di awal di bacaan itu dia di awal. It's about access to clean water. Access to clean water is one of Indonesia's biggest problem. Akses ke air bersih gitu ya. According to the Millennium Development Goals Report 2007, published by the National Development Planning Board, pipe water is accessible to 30, kalau koma itu bacanya point, 30.8% of households in the country, cities, and 9% in its village. Such figures show the limitation of the municipality water service provider, PDAM. Ya, jadi di tesis ini penulisnya itu akan berbicara tentang akses clean water. Sangat jelas ya, dia memberikan data. They share the data of a report from MDG report, seberapa banyak yang menggunakan seberapa persen yang dapat mengakses pipe water, air pipa. Ya, and then ini argumennya. Kenapa sih kok sampai sebegitunya? Gitu. Anyone want to read? Lanjut nggak ya? Oke, good. Mana ya? Saya open your voice ya. Ya.
Halo, Miss.
Read the
Halo.
ya,
Bisa dengar suaranya? Lack of enforcement in clean water is one reason PDEM gives for its limited outreach. Based on a government statement to meet the MDGs target by 2015, Indonesia needs 33 trillion US for 14.6 billion in clean water funding. The government currently provides 500 every billion. In order to close the funding gap, the government expands private investment in drinking water infrastructure. The need for clean water funding is something that cannot be covered by private investment. In Indonesia, most PDEM utilities have small scales of economy and are therefore attractive to investors. There is no evidence to suggest private investors will improve the efficiency and effectiveness of water service. First, the government has a duty to do so. Increasing public funding for clean water infrastructure is the most rational approach for Indonesia. This effort should begin with an analysis of the needs of local. This should be done through a democratic and participatory process. There are rescues and mechanisms the government could employ to increase clean water funding, such as state and local budgets, grant government funds, and community-public partnerships.
Okay, good. Okay, ini argumen. Ya, here you see the argument part. You can say that the argument part is the main part because the writer, penulisnya, itu biasanya dia share proof, biasanya bukti-bukti, atau dia share pendapatnya dari kacamata dia, dari point of view-nya dia. Jadi misalnya di bacaan ini he or she highlight about the private investment. Kalau Anda jadi penulis, misalnya if you were the writer and you will talk about the clean water, you have some data that the clean water is just accessible about 30%. Kira-kira Anda mau membahas apa lagi setelah itu? Beda-beda kan? Nah, this writer try to see from the point of view of the private investment. Kira-kira kalau misalnya ada funding dari government atau dari private investment, kira-kira nanti akan ini nggak ya, akan fixing the problem nggak ya? Gitu. Something like that. Mungkin kalau saya yang menulis, it will not be like this. Kalau saya mungkin cari alternatif teknologi misalnya, for example. I will give you the argument. So for some society itu masyarakat. Maybe for some society, we suggest them to pay attention or to make such kind of use technology. Sekarang kan ada kan kalau di Indonesia itu Anda bisa merubah air kotor jadi air bersih itu ya. Jadi point of view-nya itu beda-beda gitu. Dan ini masuk sebagai argumen gitu ya. Okay, the last part, this is also still the argument. Okay, who want to read? Want to read? Aduh, Ibu Ketua kelas, bentar ya, I open your voice. Okay. Pelan-pelan aja bacanya.
Oke.
Udah.
Udah dibuka, Bu. In order to use a grant system, the government should improve its proposal management and clearly focus on real needs in order to widen clean water service. TDEM could use existing funds more efficiently. If it could reduce leakage from 40% to 20%, it would have more disposable funds to invest in infrastructure. TDEM infrastructure. TDEM should use cost recovery principles as long as costs are more passed on to consumers. Cost recovery principles should also be supported by a proper subsidy mechanism. Bond investing is a traditional lending instrument for public service. The mechanism needs conditions, such as strong capital structure at local level. A few of mechanisms in place now to help the poor access clean water at affordable price. The most important thing is to make sure the mechanism run properly and that the needs of people at the local level are met through appropriate funding.
Yes, okay, good.
Thank you.
Nah, this is also still the argument. Yeah, they talk about the funding. Mereka bicara tentang funding, tentang pembiayaan. Tadi tentang private funding ya dari government. Kemudian dia juga bicara tentang funding dari private institution gitu ya. Setelah itu di conclusion, coba Anda perhatikan, a few of mechanism in place now to help the poor access clean water at affordable price. The most important thing is to make sure the mechanism run properly and that the needs of people at the local level are met through appropriate funding. Nah, di conclusion ini, Anda perhatikan dia tidak membuat summary itu ringkasan. Dia tidak membuat ringkasan dari argumen. Tapi dia menarik garis besarnya saja. Gitu. Ya. Jadi garis besarnya apa? Oh, ternyata yang paling penting adalah untuk to make sure, meyakinkan mekanismenya itu harus berjalan dengan tepat. Gitu. Dan tepat sasaran fundingnya. Jadi di conclusion itu kesimpulannya general, tidak lagi dia bicara tentang hal-hal yang sudah dia jabarkan di argumen, gitu. Ya, okay. Maybe this is tomorrow. Okay. Any question from reading? No? Okay, good. Okay. Some of you need to learn or exercise your reading. Okay? Pronunciation misalnya. Kemudian kalau Anda baca juga, kalau Anda tidak paham, langsung dicatat, ini apa sih kata-kata ini, what does it mean? You make note. Gitu ya. Okay. Actually, I have another slide, but I think for this slide, it will take time to talk about this slide. So, I plan to finish the course now. No homework. And I will see you tomorrow. And oh yeah, and I just want to give you announcement that next Sunday there will be meeting in KDEI and we will start around 9:30. Jam 9.30. Pak Bambal insya Allah hadir katanya. I'm not so sure. And he will bring the books for you. Information from Mas Nedi. Yeah, no. If you can come, just try to come. Yang akan Pak Bambang silahkan datang. Okay. (9:30 ya, we start at 9:30 and I will see you bahasa Inggris kan, English ya, the first class, the first lesson. Harus datang makanya. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. We will talk about this chapter, present perfect tense. Atau mungkin saya ganti deh, jangan present perfect tense. Mungkin tadi Anda banyak yang tanya tentang continuous ya. Okay. Okay, we stop here ya. I'll see you tomorrow. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye. Good evening.